for my entire life, when asked the question, what are you passionate about? The closest images that brought any excitement were only those moments that were in nature. Swimming with dolphins, surfing, playing, swimming in the ocean, laying out on the sand, simply being with animals, etc. Nothing in school ever excited me, regardless of how wonderful the teachers were, especially history. My entire body would reject the information being presented. This is painful for those who feel deeply, as it creates confusion, self-doubt, and disassociation. Since the false overlay doesn't offer a career, in being a mermaid, a part of my spirit was compromised. Minimizing my being and trying to compartmentalize myself into a box in order to participate in this game of life. There is no coincidence that this is the title of a board game, and how its rules are designed. Early childhood programming, observe other games, board and video, and see what they teach. It is a representation of the overlay. Being sensitive to energies. This was so extremely painful because I could feel the suffocation of my spirit every moment of every day as I pretended to be someone I was not in order to please those whom had been indoctrinated to believe had more wisdom. I wanted so badly to be brave enough to break out of the system, but I was too scared of the illusion of authority. And many of you did too. Oftentimes, we then fall into addiction or other self-destructive behavior as a way to numb the pain of this misalignment with self, and thus damaging our relationship with self even more so, creating a self-perpetuating cycle of destruction, only for the overlay to offer solutions that support their agenda via pharmaceuticals, as well as other means through which to numb the pain as it all evolves, dissolving the original consciousness. We continue to slowly chip away at our original being as in order to bring forward the false reality. The designers, as they cannot actually create anything, must trick us into doing so by transforming us from our natural and original state into one that is mindless and robotic. Hence, transhumanism, chipping, vaccines, frequency manipulation, etc. Look around at how many people are completely plugged and addicted to the limiting technology. It is limiting in comparison to our own organic technology of the body, no longer allowing their own answers to arise from within as they believe Google or some other character actor like a doctor or a priest knows better, disconnected from their inner being and existing as an emotionless shell of their true self. Remember, we are the creators, and we are always, moment by moment, breath by breath, shaping our realities. However, if one is unaware of how this process works, then they may be unconsciously creating the reality of someone else's agenda. And this is why the world we experience is in such chaos. We have brought this forward via the trauma that is purposely placed upon us from the moment we embody. We are immediately poisoned with vaccines, drugs, and fake food. The world we are born into is a matrix of letters and numbers that create false time and hold the creation in place. These lies are taught to us so very young, disconnecting children from their mothers and family. Trauma for all, by throwing children into school to being their process of mental enslavement as soon as possible in their most formative of years. Because that is what was done to us. And if asleep, we repeat the pattern without question with our own children. We are bombarded with lies and false truth from external sources to place a dam in the flow of consciousness, instilling self-doubt, fractal of the illusion of fear, and create a disconnect from oneself by being programmed into the languages of the overlay. Just like computer software is a binary language, the overlay speaks in the language of schooling. Mathematics, sciences, languages, history, religion, time, geography, everything taught to us from an external source is part of the illusion. Media and all entertainment. The entire overlay is all theater, and every single participant, politician, musician, athlete, religious roles, etc., is an actor. When they die in the theater, many believe is reality. That is simply the character they portrayed existing. Brainwash those who watch it by telling them this is how society and nature function, which is an abomination of who we really are. Television shows and movies creating bullshit drama via storylines and fear porn via false flags and lies to influence your emotions, not to mention the complete misrepresentation of sex, relationships, and families as a whole. Sports, politics, government, money, etc. are all created to keep you enslaved. Gotta make money to pay the bills, to live a fake life filled with conveniences and distractions that help to numb the deep inner feeling of misalignment, and distracted from being able to remember who you are. There is no hierarchy anywhere, as we are all created equal. No one is better than anyone else, and to worship athletes, musicians, and any other false god is the greatest lie for which so many have fallen. Do you really feel so disempowered, minimized, and worthless that you are willing to worship another because of the false belief they are better than you? What? These people and things have no power over us as we have been led to believe. Yet we continue to breathe life into them. To bring the change you feel deeply, you must disconnect and withdraw your energy from creating any further expressions of that which you no longer desire to experience. This process really is not that complicated. When our bodies and mind are fully functioning as designed, what we are capable of creating is amazing. Poison the body and mind with vaccines electrosmog, fake foods, toxic water, toxic product, sinister agendas that dissolve the man and replace it with a robot. And you have hijacked the creator and made him your puppet. Wake up, beautiful family, beautiful people. We must come to see this for what it is and choose to withdraw from the overlay, thus healing ourselves and bringing forward conscious creations that are in resonance with nature and our organic way of being. This means an entire overhaul in our way existing, becoming self-sufficient via growing our own food until the body no longer requires it, and creating communities which support one another in daily existence, honoring one another for the creator they are, and living by one and only love. Do no harm. Big up, Melissa. It's a text from Melissa Kemper. Greatness. Rise and shine. It's clear.